What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Friday, May 7th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have a 14 game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. If you're looking for a stud pitcher, I like Blake Snell, pitching against the San Francisco Giants. Blake Snell, he's giving up a .765 OPS versus righties. He's facing 7 righties here tonight. Now, he only gives up a .480 OPS versus lefties. He's facing 2 lefties here tonight. And the Giants have hit 12 of his last 38 pitches, batting a .316 batting average. But Blake Snell is projected at 36.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's 9,000 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,200 more on DraftKings. So I love that FanDuel price. He has an ERA of 3.51, and his record is 1-0 on the season, pitching an average of 81 pitches per game, averaging 27 fantasy points per game. He scored 36, 31, and 30 fantasy points in his last 3 games. Now, I like this pick because the San Francisco Giants do have a low salary batting team, and Vegas thinks there's only going to be 7 runs scored in this game, so they have this as a low scoring game. Now, Blake Snell is not off to the best start. He does have a pretty high ceiling, but we haven't seen it from him yet. He does have 40 plus fantasy point upside. He's a really good pitcher, so I like Blake Snell here versus the San Francisco Giants. Okay, if you're looking to save some salary at the pitcher position, take a look at Zach Pleesack with a 10% pitching advantage over the Cincinnati Reds. Zach Pleesack, he's only giving up a .512 OPS versus lefties, and he's facing 5 lefties. And he only gives up a .627 OPS versus righties, facing 4 righties, no switch hitters, not facing any switch hitters, and that's his weak hand. And he pitches pretty well to lefties and righties, so he's in a good matchup here. And the Reds have only hit 6 of his last 29 pitches, batting a .207 batting average. Zach Plesac is projected at 32 fantasy points here tonight, so only 4 points under Blake Snell, but he's only 7,600 FanDuel salary, and he's 800 more on DraftKings. So I love that price on both sites, and he has an ERA of 4.78. His record is 1-3 on the season, pitching an average of 85 pitches per game. He's averaging 23 fantasy points per game. He's scored 41, 30, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So if you want to save some money, I like Zach Plesac here versus the Cincinnati Reds.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Now guys, just as a quick note, we just released a free DFS contest on Draft Dashboard for MLB and NBA for DraftKings and FanDuel. There's over $500 available in the prize pool, and this is a totally free contest you can enter as a Draft Dashboard member. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video, give Draft Dashboard a try, and you can start playing in our free DFS contest and compete to win some money. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher position. I like JT Realmuto batting against Charlie Morton. JT Realmuto, he's batting a .801 OPS versus righties. And Charlie Morton throws his worst ball versus righty batters. 12% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .756 OPS versus righties. Now I like this pick because JT Realmuto is 6 for 17, batting a .353 batting average and a .742 OPS versus Morton. And he's only $2,900 FanDuel salary, but he is $2,000 more on DraftKings, so I love that FanDuel price. He's projected at 11.2 fantasy points here today, and he's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 9, 3, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like JT Realmuto here versus Charlie Morton. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like DJ LeMahieu with a 33% batting advantage over Patrick Corbin. DJ LeMahieu, he's batting a .845 OPS versus lefties. And Patrick Corbin, he throws his worst ball versus righty batters. 34% worse than his pitch to lefties, giving up a .998 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because DJ is 18 for 52 with a .346 batting average and a 1.074 OPS versus Corbin. That's a huge sample size. He has 3 triples and 4 home runs, and DJ is $3,200 FanDuel salary, and he's $2,000 more on DraftKings. Projected at 11.7 fantasy points here tonight, and he's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 0, 12, and 19 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like DJ LeMahieu here versus Patrick Corbin. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Kyle Seager with a 3% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Mike Foltz. Kyle Seager is batting 31% better versus righty pitchers, and he's batting a .848 OPS versus righties. And Mike Foltz, he's giving up a 1.177 OPS versus lefties. Now Kyle Seager is 3 for 4. That's a .750 batting average and a 1.750 OPS versus Foltz. Kyle Seager is $2,900 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,900 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 0, 22, and 3 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Kyle Seager here versus Mike Foltz.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? I like Marcus Semien with a 33% batting advantage over Jose Urquidy. Marcus Semien is batting a .709 OPS versus righties. And Jose Urquidy, he's pitching his worst ball versus righty batters. 44% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .833 OPS versus righties. Now I like this pick because Marcus Semien is 2 for 7, batting a .286 batting average, but he's got a 1.518 OPS versus Urquidy because 2 of those 2 hits were for home runs. He's 3,000 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,000 more on DraftKings. Projected at 13.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 37, 6, and 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Marcus Semien here versus Jose Urquidy. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Tommy Edman with an 11% batting advantage over Austin Gomber. Tommy Edman is batting 17% better versus lefty pitchers. He's batting a .842 OPS versus lefties. Austin Gomber, he's giving up a .541 OPS versus switch hitters. Now there's no at-bats versus Gomber yet, and Tommy Edman, he's only 2,800 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,600 more on DraftKings. He's projected at 10 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 3, 6, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Tommy Edman here versus Austin Gomber.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.